Greeks said, "Oh, arista, arista." That means very good in ancient language, and that stuck to that meat. And we still make arista. We still make it all the time. It's the
So
same exact recipe.
a lot of those recipes of antiquity actually came from the Macedonia area or Greek.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember the Mediterranean. We are really all. It looks like it's far, but we're really all together. We're
Right.
very close to each other here. America's a continent.
Yeah.
Europe is little countries that, let's say, Italy is a little bit bigger than California.
Right. Right.
So,
Right.
and,
Do you
and
think? Do you think that modern day food that we have that we eat? Do you think that it will last the test of time, like some of these great recipes these great foods of the world? Do you think that the modern day American, I guess, taste buds and food will last? And if it won't, where do you see the type of eating? Where are we going as a population?
well, remember, everything evolves.
Hmm.
So I couldn't cook ancient Roman anymore. We wouldn't be able to eat it. For example, the naknum. A naknum is the Etruscan word for a anchovy paste. That right now it's so smelly. No,
Yeah.
but at the time, so you adapt. You adapt to what life what it is.
Right.
I see we're going towards better food. There's a lot of more awareness right now
Hmm.
on eating healthy, and that means a lot of raw foods and a lot of vegetables and fruits and cooking. I see there's a big trend in cooking one's own food right now. When I was a child in America, everybody was on the go, and nobody liked to cook. Now
Right.
I see there's a lot of attention. So I see that um, it's going to go healthier and healthier and better and better and better. People now are aware that we are what we eat. That
Yeah.
was said by the Etruscans. Etruscans were a civilization that lived in Tuscany and Emilia Romagna, which is another region here, and Alto Lazio, the high above Rome. So they were very ancient people.
I
That
want to
were,
tell you something right now. You've won my heart over. Speaking Italian and these inflections you have and the food you're talking about, that's it. That's it. I'm done for. You got me. I'm done. That's it. It's over with.
I can't wait to cook for you again.
Oh,
It was fun.
it
I
was
love to cook, so it's my biggest passion.
yeah, and you're terrific at it. I first had the
Thank
opportunity
you.
to taste some of your fine cooking at a Hollywood party up at a mansion,
Hmm.
and everybody swooped down the minute your help started bringing the stuff out of the kitchen, and I got the chance to taste a little bit of everything, and of course, standing there with my giant spear and machete and shield, I stand back. I'm eating now.
It was
But
fun.
so now one of the things that you do that is another passion is feeding the hungry. Let's talk a
Yes.
little bit about that, because especially being a master chef like you are and around food and watching people enjoy what you're eating, yet there are so many people in America, in this country, which it shouldn't be, let alone the rest of the world, but certainly here in the United States, that go hungry every single night of the week. Now, go figure that one, Anina.
We have 17.5 million kids that go hungry every day in the United States.
How can that
And
be?
I don't even know the number around the world right now.
Yeah.
It's scary. So, and I'm trying to create awareness there. To stop throwing away all this food, to try to create dinner donate. I always say donate a dinner. It doesn't cost that much.
Hmm.
It could be also just a hamburger. It could be really a gallon of milk, and together we can really end world hunger.
You know,
Little.
you're absolutely talking the truth there. A lot of folks know that I have another business, the real estate business, and 30 years ago, 35 years ago, when I started, I worked at this little shop in the San Fernando Valley, Sun Valley, Red Carpet Realty, and it was right next to, remember the Alpha Beta markets way back when, and every night. Every morning, the Alpha Beta market would take all of their bread items and all of their fruit items that were overnight, and they would just throw them away in the big garbage bin. And then the homeless people, which there wasn't too much of, just a few, would go and raid the garbage bins in the morning every day of the week. And it got so bad that Alpha Beta put a giant fence around it and on top of it after the police had been called many times for people stealing food out of the trash can. And it just incensed me because these bakery items and this fruit was all still just fine. And they just throw it away. And that was 35 years ago.
Well, we have that problem all over the world still to this day. So now there's a lot of different associations that are creating that in the sense that they go pick it up and they make sure that it's kept safe because, see, that's what happens. Let's say it's summertime, okay? So it gets hot and the trash bins are dirty. So you don't want to eat that food.
Right.
You know, you really want to make sure that it's clean. Even now in Los Angeles, it's July, you guys. So please remember, we've got a lot of our veterans outside. So burritos or whatever you can go buy, give them to food shelters. They go take care of these kids and these people that really do need food.
Yeah, they really do. It's amazing. I go by a lot of these places in my travels through the city. I mean, there's 60,000 homeless people just in the city of Los Angeles alone, not even the county. 60,000 is the newest mark. And
Wow.
And they're all eating however they're eating because they certainly aren't eating 3 meals a day at home somewhere because they're homeless. And it amazes me when you travel through Los Angeles and you see all the people that are not eating, and yet you see the food shelters that are completely and absolutely overrun with long lines. I mean, it's like a concert people are going to every morning, every afternoon, and every night. And you talk to these food shelter representatives and stuff, they run out of food. They run out of food. And yet, once again, the food just gets discarded by these major corporations. And I think you're right, though. I think we're starting to, maybe because of people like you they're starting to see the idea of donating this type of food that you're talking about.
Many big companies do that now. They really do. Before it's about to expire, I don't want to make any names of big corporations but they do. Now they call the food shelters. And either they call the food shelters and the food gets picked up, or actually they go and deliver instead of throwing it away. So we are able to hand out a lot. And it's really important nowadays because if it does stay in the trash can, it's very dangerous. Food, they get diseases and they get very sick. So we don't want that. We want to help them stay healthy, actually get back on their feet. Once they're well fed, usually, get them into centers where they can have some treatment. Maybe some of them, there's mental illness. There's a lot of things going on right now all over the world. And so just being a part, just love is the answer. I didn't invent this phrase, but I made it mine. And I make it mine every day. I really make a point in even a little bottle of water. I'll go donate that if I don't have anything. Or again, just be a part. Everybody say, please be a part of the change. Be a part of love and be a part of giving. And it's very important.
My father, who's 85 years old, he was raised during the Depression era in Chicago. And Al Capone, you had the city food service, the city soup line, and then you had Al Capone's, the gangster Al Capone's soup line, and you always went to Al Capone's soup line with your bucket, and because he gave you extra meat or extra chicken or extra pork, you got extra slab of bread or extra potatoes in your bucket, right? And the city was much more stingy on that. But if you've never experienced hunger, if you're hungry, you can't do anything else but just try not to be hungry. I mean, that becomes your sole purpose of existence. How can you get yourself off the street or improve yourself or get your family off the street when all you do is have to scrounge around all day long just to put something in your tummy?
Yep, exactly. And there we are. And again, we can all be part of this and help towards this change right now.
You know what really bothers me though, Anina, is these people that take advantage of the good-heartedness of good folks. They stand on the corner and they're wearing, $200 sneakers, right? And they say, money or some food, right? And I think that puts a callous or a kind of a hard shell over folks' heart to want to help in a lot of ways. So what do you suggest is the best way to help people get fed?
Well, food shelters are the best, because they really do. I worked I volunteer when I'm in the United States, when I'm home, for the West Hollywood Food Coalition, for example. That was opened up in 1980, 82 or 83. Now, all the restaurants will donate a lot of the food, and then we remake it. Some of it, it's like we prepare like lasagna, for example,
right,
or different sauces with the meat, and salads and sandwiches. And then there's places where we go and create the line, and there's many homeless that come. Many people come.
right.
The Salvation Army is also part of this help. I always say to go to the closest charity that you have. It could be of any. There's many of them around Los Angeles or anywhere in the United States. There's many places where they will accept it and donate it. Make sure that it gets to the right people. Children again. Orange County alone has 12,000. What do they call them? Dumpster kids, they're called.
Yeah, right. I know. There was a big article. There was a big article in the Orange County Register about that about a year and a half ago. It's an astronomical number of children who are not eating right, not getting the right nutrients, and such. And Americans have always been the most kindest and the most kind-hearted people in the world, at least in my lifetime, helping everybody on the planet Earth with refugee, with food, with water, with emergency services, protection, whatever. America's always been at the forefront of leadership, and we have a great heart in this nation. And I hope that is being translated now, like you mentioned earlier, into this new generation of young people that they can make a difference. Do you think it's working with the younger generation, that they're starting to see that significance and how important charitable and giving is? Yes,
I really do. I really believe more. Well, I think that the new generations are really part of it. I really hope and pray every day that will be the case also, because we need to help each other. It really doesn't, you don't have to help 1,000 people. Even one person is enough. So yes, I believe that we're going towards that more and more and more. There's more sharing and more taking care of each other. But again, as you said, Jesse, in America was built that way. People would come in, I'm talking 200-300 years ago, and all the men would get together and build a house together. Right. I remember studying this in high school and school. And so it's part of America that we are here to help each other. And so from America, we give the example also to the world.
We are the great melting pot, and I hope that continues on into the future. It seems I seem to sometimes feel, honestly, that we're not becoming the melting pot. We're segregating ourselves from each other on many different levels, from spirituality and religion all the way to language and cultural significance and all of these social economic ideals, political and whatnot. And this isn't, we're not talking politics today, but
No.
I hope that I hope that the great concept of the melting pot works, because, like you said, people would help each other, and it didn't much matter whether you were from somewhere or were somebody. You are an American, and that's what yesterday was all about. You know, being an American for the sake of being an American.
Yes, and that's the beauty of our country. That's America. We are all from different ethnic groups. I always say one race, the human race.
Right.
I don't like to segregate there again, but there's Italians and Irish and the Germans and the French and the Dutch. And again, our country was built by the African Americans, and the Italians, and we together as one built America. And I really pray every day that this will stay and continue to be.
That gives us our strength, I believe.
Yes.
As a country in a general plan, in the strength of it all. It gives us our strength, unlike where Russia and China. They have.
I remember when I was a child, this was really a point that you would go to school. But for example, religion, each would keep our own. We wouldn't discuss religion at school because it would make us fight. We didn't talk about religion or politics.
Right.
We were one, anyways. We could have been Jewish, we could have been Christian, we could have been Muslim, we could have been whatever it was, Hindu or Buddhist.
You know, honestly, Anina, I had no idea, really, honestly. I'm 56 years old. I'll be 57 in a couple of months. I had no idea about racism and discrimination and prejudice and bigotry and racial inequality or equality or socioeconomic structures until I was about 14 to 16. I got my first taste of it at 14, and it really hit home when I was about 17, 18 years old. I up to that point, and I was just raised. I was essentially just colorblind. It didn't matter. It didn't register to me, these things. These things didn't. I know it's hard for people to understand that, and I talk about this all the time, but it didn't register in my mind, you know, what you were or where you were from. I just took you as you were, and as I was with you and you with me, and it just didn't register that. But by 1978, you know, things started to change a little bit, and I think we've gone. I hope that we can turn the corner, because boy, there's a lot of bad feelings.
Honestly, I think there's a lot of bad things, but there's a lot of good things too.
Yeah,
I find it that actually it has changed. I grew up in Riverside, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So my father was at UCR at the time. He was a professor. And Riverside, very close to Fontana. And there was different areas with different ethnic groups. And it was scary and it was dangerous. It was more divided than now.
Right.
I see now there's a lot more unity. And I really pray for that every day. They're trying to separate us through religious beliefs or through political beliefs, and it's wrong. I believe that I want to look positive. I want to think positive and see it positive, and really work at it.
I agree with you. And one of the things that you have the ability to do, because you're a great chef and you understand food. I tell you something. You want to make peace fast with people? You put them together at a dinner table and let them eat quality, good food, and everything goes back to honesty and laughter and enjoyment of each other. It just, food brings people together in a way in which nothing else can be brought together. You know, and that's one of the attributes that you have the ability to do, and you can speak so beautifully about hunger and things like that. So, do you sense that is a kind of a melting pot to bring different folks together? Good quality eating?
Absolutely. It really does. It's really actually all about together we can eat, create recipes, and I always say fusion. I'm sorry I'm moving because I
Oh no,
need
I
to.
love it. You're walking me around your house. I love it. The
I,
audience loves it
I,
too.
I don't want to be loud right now. I have other people sleeping here,
Yeah,
so I have to
it
get.
is. That's right. It's 1 o'clock. That's 2:30 in the morning there. So we only got a few more minutes. So what exciting things that you've got coming up here? I know you've got a show that you're doing in September, and you've got some other cool stuffs happening. Let us know what you got coming up and how to get involved in
Well,
that.
my book should be out. Let Me Make Your Life Delicious. It should be out by mid-September, and you'll love it because there's a lot of history there and about food and about Italian cheeses and the way we use them. And what's coming up? I just can't wait to be back home. Honestly,
Hmm.
I miss my. See, everybody loves Italian food, but my favorite food of the world is actually Mexican food. I
You
can't
like
wait.
you like
Can't wait.
Mexican food, huh? Yeah. Well, a lot of people do. Real Mexican food, not American Mexican food, like, not Taco Bell, right? We're talking about real
Talking
Mexican
real.
food.
CC, real, real.
Fish
So I can't
dishes,
wait.
some great fish and pasta in
Shit.
Mexico, but a lot of people don't realize that in Veracruz or the east side of the country of Mexico, they eat completely different than the west side of Mexico. Completely
Absolutely.
different. It's very European.
Yes, because remember, there was a lot of Spanish invasion, so
Hmm.
they brought in a lot of
Italians
different,
too. Italians
yes,
and Germans.
many.
Yeah,
Yes,
on the east side of Mexico. So it's a completely it's as different as Eskimos are from African Americans. That's how different the east side of Mexico is compared to West Coast. It's really a vastly different. So yeah, Mexican food. Hey, in Los Angeles, you can't get away from that. So your book's coming out, and the title of it again is.
Let me make your life delicious.
Oh, baby, you can make my life delicious anytime.
Yes.
Whew.
And then my TV show is coming up, which will be all about creating alchemy in the kitchen,
Oh,
and how
cool.
they did bringing old remedies back and
Oh,
functional
that'll
foods,
be
I
great.
call them.
I can't wait to see that show, and especially when you start talking about old remedies that really, save people's lives. And because I'm
Yeah.
I'm totally against big pharma and all that stuff. I rail
Well,
on
I
that all the
believe
time.
that we have everything that we
Hmm.
need. I believe that we have all that's needed by nature.
Hmm.
So we've forgotten, and I don't want to forget, and that's why I'm here also to source all old remedies about
Right.
what would grandmother do? What would they do when you got sick and you weren't feeling well? So
I my
that is
my
all.
my son the other day got his hands really greasy, right? And he's looking for some soap to clean his hands. Got him greasy, dirty, and he's looking for some soap. I said, "You don't need any soap." So we went out to the backyard. I grabbed a lemon and split the lemon in half with my trusty pocket knife. And I said, rub this lemon all over your hands. Just rub it. And he goes, oh, what's it going to do? I said, just rub it on all the grease under your nails. Just rub that lemon all over your hand, that grease, and watch what'll happen. The grease will actually disappear in front of your eyes. So he's rubbing this lemon all over his hands, and the grease just disappeared. The black, oily grease just disappeared. He said, how did that be? I said, hey, it's me, Jesse T. What can I tell you? I'm showing you the way to be, baby. Right? And he goes, gosh, Dad, how do you know these things? I said, because these things have been passed down forever and ever and ever. We come from the earth will protect us.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we have all these remedies. And so that's fun too. And people go, what? That happens, huh? And I explain, for example, lemon. You mentioned one of my favorite and most healing substances in the kitchen. Lemon, we do digestives, tonics, and elixirs, I call them. Lemon is used to fortify your nails and also to take off a wine stain from beautiful grandmother's tablecloth. You don't want
Really?
that red. So you use lemon. And again, lemon has many, many remedies. in the pharmaceutical way, but also in cleaning, as you were saying, taking away the grease.
Yeah.
And it's old grandmother stuff.
Totally
and
old school stuff. It detoxifies your liver. A combination of one full lemon, skinned full lemon, a half a cucumber with skin on it. All right, and two little quarter cups of parsley with ice and alkaline water mixed up. You drink that once a day. Your liver will get detoxified, the most important organ in your body.
Absolutely, and the parsley helps get rid of the heavy metals, and the citric acid in the lemon really helps clean the cells of your body. Absolutely, yes. And the cucumber is also very good, very hydrating. I've learned that from the Mexicans, actually.
Yeah.
And
they're all water-based. The cucumber is just one solid mass of water, essentially. That's what it is. You know, see, I know a little bit. Just a teeny weeny little bit, but we certainly can learn so much more from you. So you have the TV show coming up. I'm excited about watching that show, especially when you start talking about these old school, old time remedies. I'm totally into that, and I know a lot of our viewing and listening audience is too. So do you have a network that's going to be picking that up yet, or are you still negotiating that?
It's right now. We're going to stream it. It's going to be on the internet, so everybody will be able to see it.
Great.
I'm working to pitch it at 2 networks, actually.
Excellent.
We'll see. I don't talk about it until it's done.
My words to the creator's ears. Give her a show, will you? Please. Because then at least I can be on it once in a while.
And you would taste all my food all the time.
Yeah.
I want to teach that too. I want to teach the old remedies and healthy eating for young mothers, for their children. And, you know, it's a lot of things are, you build a taste to them. So the earlier you start, the better it is, especially with vegetables with young children. And there's yummy ways to make them and also to prepare them on the plate, to plate them. So it'll be fun. I'm really sure that it'll be fun.
So we got a couple other things that we want everybody to get involved in. Foodless shelters for the homeless people. And one of the ones that you work with closely is the one in West Hollywood. And let's just give them a plug because they've been around for 30 or 40 years now. So they're the West Hollywood, West LA.
Food Coalition. West Hollywood Food Coalition.
So check them out online and donate all the food and bring it in and let them decide, you know, what's still good for folks to eat and what's kind of not so good in terms of that, and get it over to them because we got to feed a lot of people, and that's something that Chef Anina does there, and so she vouches for the place. That's the place to take it. They'll distribute that food out very fast, efficiently, and quick. And then we have her terrific book. I know the name, but she says it so much better than I do. Can you say it again?
Oh, let me make your life delicious.
Oh, God. Lord help me. Let me make your life delicious.
Yummy. It's all about the food.
So it's coming back, and you know you're gonna be back in America, back home, and when you get back home, we got to bring you into the studio. I want to maybe do one of these home-cooked home remedies or something like that. We've got a small kitchen here. I think that'd be great, and help you do the grand opening of your internet show, and we'll help push your book around because you have a lot to provide a lot of folks, Anina. You're just wonderful.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And again, everybody together, we can make a better world. And,
right.
And you know, as the Italians say, mangia. It's all about the food. For us, you were saying about Al Capone, which touched my heart, because they could be terrible people, but you can't mess with food in Italy. You cannot mess with not eating. You know, here we have 12,000 to 15,000 refugees that arrive each day. Yeah. Okay, so we're taking care of them and helping them go to different countries, and the first thing we do, we feed them. they're right hungry. So
well, we can't wait to see you in person and get you on the show and help you in anything that you endeavor to do. You are a wonderful soul, and you're just a terrific chef. I can't wait for your book to come out. Man, I'm telling you, I really appreciate you coming on Last Moment, and I don't care. You are absolutely beautiful tonight at 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning in Italy. Have a glass of wine on me, okay? Or not on me. I don't want the wine poured on me. You can have a glass on. You know what I mean, right? Master Chef Nina Rodois on the Jesse T Show. Thank you, my dear. Thank you, my love. You're just wonderful. We'll talk to you later. We'll hook back up here in a day or so. Watch the show. It's archived now, and it's just a great time. Master Chef Nina Rodois. I told you it'd be a uniquely interesting show. She's a uniquely and very interesting person, and she just has such a helpful heart, of course. Mama's in the kitchen, baby. How much more helpful can that be? Tomorrow on the Jesse T Show, bringing back Roslyn Kahn because we had some technical difficulties with her brand new book, Dogs and Roses. So we're going to see how that's going along. Yes, this week is a week of kind of kicking back a little bit. And then we'll be rip-roaring and ready, red hot and rolling next week on the Jesse T Show, Monday through Friday from 5 to 6 right here. The World According to Torero, you're straight on the spot now. The Brown Beauty is off duty. See you. Goodbye. Give me some spaghetti and meatballs.